What up? What up? Hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. Are we live yet? Like we're coming in at the moment. Cool, cool, cool. See what's going on in the market. If you're getting here early, make sure to smash the like button. Really appreciate you for being here. So you got Roger. Good to see you. Roger, your time in the morning is impeccable. It's always impeccable. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday to everyone. Man, good to have made it to this point. Stephen, good to see you. OE, Alan, Station C4. I got a cool video dropping in the morning today, so keep an eye out for that. I got a cool video dropping in the morning. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. Cool. 80, good to see you, man. All right, let's start this thing off. I want to get started and just take a quick look. Funny place to start, but take a quick look at the meme market. Big correction there, but I figure we just scroll through and take a look what's happening. It seems like most of the market is still very down. There are occasional things doing well. Take a quick look at Milady. Yeah, a bit of a correction here as expected. So this market's going to continue to be extremely volatile, but I still think it's pretty interesting to watch, see where things end up. This market, I think, is going to be poised to grow a lot, but also it's highly volatile. I've been, at this point, me playing around in this market, I've been rugged probably at least 10 times. So if you go into this market not expecting to be rugged, you're doing it wrong. You got to go in expecting the worst. And if you do that, you'll probably end up in a pretty good place. If you do that, you'll probably end up in a pretty good place. Good morning, good morning. Thanks, Space. Good to see you. Linda, good to see you. Just finishing setting up the stream right now. Had CNBC going, of course CNBC went to break. As soon as I was about to start off. There we go. Cool. This is the first day of the rest of my life. Interesting. Mickle, have you guys seen the recent post from Brad Garlinghouse? I think it's time to activate Rosie Rios and sign 100 billion of new currency XRP. Yeah, I did see Brad Garlinghouse's new post. It's nice to see Brad Garlinghouse so optimistic about what's around the corner. It's really nice to see Brad Garlinghouse so optimistic about what's around the corner. To me, it's a really, really good sign to see him coming out and really start talking about some of these things more aggressively. Guys, make sure if you're getting here early, you drop a like on the stream. Really appreciate everyone doing that. Pulling up the X chat right now, so I'll monitor that as well. Trying to do a better job of monitoring all these chats. Still trying to figure out like the ideal setup for how I run things now, but we'll get there eventually. I just haven't put in enough time into setting everything up properly. Leon, good to see you. Yeah, what a week. Taylor, good to see you. This has been a crazy week. This has been a crazy week. And it's so nice to see. I have a cool clip to show you guys in a second. Just waiting for the room to fill in a little bit more. I'll show off this real quick. It looks like XP Market is starting to build out some pretty cool stuff. So looks like they've had a website update. And they now have meme pools, which I haven't had time to play around with yet. But this looks like the ability to go directly into liquidity pools in the meme market. Also, airdrops as well. I haven't taken a look at this either. Oh, so these are upcoming airdrops. Very cool. Very cool. upcoming airdrops, I have a feeling these will be heavily tied to meme tokens. So set your airdrop, be able to farm some of these meme tokens for free. And then, of course, we've talked about rewards. This is for the farming. And you guys can get your daily update of how much XPM I've lost, about 1.8K XPM. So tough little reminder that they have right there for all the money I miss out not coming in here and clicking in. Take a look at these meme pools real quick. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to have to take a closer look at this, but the website looks clean. Shout out to XP Market for some of the stuff they're building. Obviously very exciting. I just don't know. I don't think I know enough about this yet to fully understand what's going on here. Oh, Dennis, good to see you, man. Glad you're excited. Yeah, it's really nice to see things starting to come together at a faster clip. And I think given where the industry is headed now, things are only going to be accelerating faster and faster. So it took a long time to get here, and we probably still have a little bit of work to do, right? Trump's not in yet. We might have some more last-ditch efforts by the current administration to try to slow things down, but it really does seem like we're on the up and up now. Took a long time to get here, but things really do look pretty good. Yeah, Jay Clayton was on CNBC this morning, actually. I'm sure you saw that. Right when I was logging on, Jay Clayton was on. They never ask him, of course, anything interesting in the slightest. So, of course, Jay Clayton just gets up there and spews whatever he wants. He never gets asked anything material, but yeah, that's Jay Clayton for you. It's so funny, too, that Jay Clayton's like running around being pro-crypto. Guys, take a look at the XRP chart. It's starting to look really good. We're putting this very healthy candle right in the middle of this thing. Super, super, super nice to see that. It's been a while since, it hasn't been a while. I shouldn't say that. We were trying to press out or break out of here a couple weeks ago, kind of towards where we thought the Ripple SEC case wasn't going to get appealed. But then we fell all the way back down here, once again respecting this support. I think it's so funny, people who say like, oh, it's like just a BS triangle. Like, I understand feeling like that, but I don't think there's any way you can deny the fact that this thing is just being, it's been spot on. Like, it's just been super consistent. And, you know, I could come in here with levels and show you the decreasing highs and the increasing lows to really put a numerical value around the squeeze that's happening. But I just think it's so obvious. I think that activity would be pointless. They asked him about presidents using their position to profit from foreign deals. Huh, that's so funny. Yeah, there was another one too. They had him on one time and they were really pressing him on something like, no, he was saying, oh, I don't think like unelected bureaucrats should be the one trying to push policy through enforcement. It's like, that's exactly what you did. So I don't know, man. Someone at Ripple clearly rubbed him the wrong way, and then it's just been a vendetta from him against Ripple, the company, since then. I do know someone who actually met Jay Clayton in person, and that person actually specifically asked Jay Clayton about the Ripple SEC case. And even it was like in the last week, Jay Clayton was still convinced he was going to win. So I don't know. I don't know if he's really changed that much in terms of his perspectives. Yeah, exactly, Taylor. Exactly. Here's XRP still chilling in the middle of here. Nothing overly interesting there. Take a look at XRP to BTC. Binance. I don't know why I always want to go to the Bitstamp chart. Still chilling at the bottom, it looks like. Nothing. Yep. Nothing overly exciting here. That's the main reason we just haven't been focusing on the charts much. It just seems like everything's locked and loaded. And other than that, we're just waiting for that big movement. Take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin chilling close to 76. This is what we really wanted to see and what we've talked about for a while, this breakout. This is huge confirmation to me that things are going to look very, very good on the other side of this. Take a look at X real quick. Make sure we're not missing out on any news. Fire Dog, thank you so much. Appreciate that, Fire Dog. Albania got denied. Oh, Alibaba got denied acquiring MoneyGram. Ripple gets it. Then Ripple gets attacked. Yep. Also, I don't know how big of a deal I don't know. MoneyGram to me doesn't seem like a great use of blockchain technology. Like, I can see if MoneyGram wanted to like build on Ripple's products, I understand using that to move money, but it's a lot of low value transfers. So you could probably build a good product on the XRP ledger and that could be compelling, but I really don't see it being the holy grail of where blockchain's going, right? I think blockchain's a lot bigger than MoneyGram. MoneyGram's business is very boring to me, to be honest. Maybe other people don't think like that, but I don't know. Not overly excited about MoneyGram. Yeah, it'd be cool to see a lot of money being used for remittances on the XRP ledger, but I just feel like the XRP ledger is becoming so much more than just sending money back and forth. Uh, It's like in limbo right now. Don't like it. We need BTC to push through stronger 76 with a good pop. Oh, very interesting, Fire Dog. We haven't gotten your perspective in a while on where we sit in the market. I'm keen to take a look at this. If we will reset to 76, 70, very high possibility we take that. Yeah, I think we're probably going to go. I think we're probably got some more room. I think we're going to get to around 80-ish in the near future here. So you still think we have one more low? You still think we have one more low here, Fire Dog? What do you think? Where do you think that low's in play? Where do you think that low's in play? Like, what are we watching? Bitcoin's at 76 right now. Looks like it could be a good day for Bitcoin. It looks like Bitcoin's trying to put in a new high today. Zoom in and take a closer look at this. It looks like Bitcoin's trying to put in a new high. Stu going to Thailand soon? Stu Alderati? We get to 80, things will get exciting. I would agree. I would agree. It looks like we might make a push today. We'll see how the market opens. Let's take a look. I'm going to take a look at pre-market real quick and see if we are seeing anything. Pre-market's not like anything interesting there, so I don't think we're going to get any boost from the stock market necessarily today. ADA? Is ADA moving? I've been taking a look at ADA in a while. Oh, did Bitcoin? Oh, ADA. Crypto. Oh, yeah. Pretty nice move here by Cardano. Good to see. I know Cardano's been in the dog pound for a bit here. I don't pay a ton of attention to Cardano. Wow, it looks crazy how different it looks on the logarithmic chart versus the linear. Linear is like, boop. On the logarithmic chart, it looks like a massive move. Take a look at this. On the logarithmic chart, it's like, wow, look at that big candle. And if we take this over to the linear chart, still big candle, but in retrospect, it's like, I'm not a huge ADA guy myself. I don't know. I just don't really see the long-term application of where it ends up. Like, to me, it seems like it's trying to be like an Ethereum kind of Solana chain, but I don't really see it actually making a lot of progress in terms of retail adoption. Oh, Firedog, that's awesome. Firedog says just close a massive $6 million project, ground up construction, Miami. Any of you live in Miami? Oh, Firedog, no, you're good. You're good. Congrats, brother. Glad you got that grind in. That's sick. Good for you. Yeah, not a fan of Charles Hoskinson at all, really. I used to like Charles, but recently it's just, he's been kind of insufferable, to be honest. Take a listen to this.
Introspective on a 2 or 3 days after an election like this. You know, Joe and I have had lots of debate about EVs in the United States and the industrial policy that's come across in the last, call it 4 years, around trying to create charging stations and the like. And one of the things that's been pointed out to me repeatedly is
it's a pretty nice one that they got
he says there's just one of them. I think there's more than one, but there's not many is the point. And the question is, why is that? And can you make industrial policy actually work, right?
No.
The answer is no. Well, if the answer is no, then I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the right answer is.
I want to know what the Manhattan Institute calls Trumponomics. The hell is it?
Trumponomics?
What is
sort of the Oprah Winfrey of taxes. It's
I've
a tax
heard that.
cut for you,
Yeah.
tax cut for you.
Well, it challenges us because we tend to be very fiscally
Oprah, so I always
I
think
mean,
we're
I hear
taking
you. But, you know, Andrew, one thing you just said in the last segment I wanted to kind of bring back, which is the idea of the importance of, like, democracy and fairness as kind of a governing principle of how we approach tax policy seems like super important.
Fair is such a nebulous term.
I know you don't like it, but listen, no tax on tips is a very good example of something I hope Trump walks back.
Okay.
No tax on tips.
How about if I work till July 1st for the government? Is that fair?
If you work, so my view is if we take these sorts of policies where we preference certain types of income in the tax code, carried interest, I know another hobby house of yours, is another good example.
Just on the edges, it doesn't help. I mean, I know there's a perception.
There's like a perception, and that's part of what's happening here.
But working till July 1st, is that fair in that it's not fair because I should be paying more? Or is it fair because I'm actually being taxed too much?
I think we're in a situation. You can make honestly, you can make the argument both ways.
Then what good is talking?
But the good is talking in the following way. Americans overwhelmingly, the people who are sending Trump to the White House, they think that the tax system in our country is unfair and rigged against them. They are correct. And so as Trump looks to this tax policy debate that's on the horizon, I hope he does so with an eye towards making the system more fair, not less fair.
I mean, like, lowering...
all right, I found a disagreement.
Yeah.
Let's
I think we're largely undertaxed. I mean, no one wants to hear that.
And you're largely undertaxed?
See?
Yeah, what?
This is a bizarro world.
No, of course we are.
Country. Like, if you look at tax rates over time, they've been going down for everyone but high earners. And the fact is...
How high?
Among high earners?
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
If I'm a W-2 earner, I might be a high earner. So your 60% is not enough?
You're 5%. You're top 1% of the country.
Oh, top 0.1 probably.
The U.S.
I didn't say
31.
high earners are being taxed too little. I'm saying, like, if you look at tax rates for everyone else, they've been going down. And, you know, we can have a discussion about what the right tax level is versus the right spending level, but spending's been going up, taxes have been going down for almost everyone. And those numbers just don't add up.
We're at 18%. We've always been around 18%. We're spending 23%.
No, we've gone down over time, as Allison is describing.
But it's at 18.
We're 31 out of 38 OECD countries in terms of how much tax
we don't
revenue
want to, and you can look at, it's almost inversely proportional to GDP.
Well, Joe, I am curious whether you think what Trump has actually proposed is about $10 trillion of unfinanced tax cuts. If you take the TCJA extensions and you take no tax on tips, no tax on overtime.
We're not going to need any taxes when we have tariffs.
I mean, you can't really, the mathematically, you cannot replace the income tax with tariffs. And so you are going to need taxes.
I've argued for like a 2-year trial period of getting rid of the income tax. Let's just see.
Well, we can replace it with the VAT.
There's one way to think about it, Joe.
Huh?
You may work the first 6 months for the government.
7 months probably.
Okay.
6.5.
But the last 6 months,
I'd make
you're
heck of a lot.
You're
Okay.
living so much larger
I
than
know.
almost every
I
other
know.
American
Well,
in the country.
I know.
And that's
been
the
working
cost
to
of
get
having
there.
those the
Okay.
cost of having those 5.5 months to yourself.
Yeah. And it's,
I'm not sure that's. I think a philosopher would have trouble with that logic, but I see what you're saying. So, what did you come up with a name for it?
For what?
Trumponomics?
Trumponomics? I'd say just our word is ambivalent.
We got to go, folks.
Thank you.
Allison, Natasha, thank you.
Thanks for
we'll come
having
back
us.
a lot more on Squawk Box. Can't miss interview coming up.
Interesting little back and forth right there. I don't know. I mean, I certainly think there's certain parts of the tax code that I think the tax code definitely needs to be reformed in one way. It's funny, everyone wants to argue about the tax code, but never. Then you ask what you want to change, and everyone's like, so like, I don't know. I completely agree with you, Brian. I think it should be on goods and services. If you're buying things, you pay a tax on that. You're buying some. I like the on goods and services. The income thing is like crazy to me. Like the income taxes seems absurd to me. Lots of people talking about drop in the chat, so I'll humor people on drop. Here's the drop price chart. It looks like drop is actually creating a nice little bottom here. So this is something I talked about. That we needed to see. Drop ultimately creating a bottom, and it looks like that's taking place, so that's really good to see. Also, guys, if you want to use First Ledger, link in the description of this video for First Ledger. Really appreciate anyone using my link, but that's what I see on drop right now. Drop went super exponential, and now it's starting to revert a little bit. Oh, take a look at this log chart. Yeah, the log chart on drop is incredible. You had this big move upward, and it looks like it's crashing, but if you take a look at the more zoomed out view, right, you can see that it's actually been fairly consistent in terms of finding that bottom. So just want to throw out there, guys, by the way, First Ledger, link in the description of this video. Go use my link. And understand that whenever you're in the meme coin market, you are gambling. You are gambling in the meme coin market. So don't think any differently, but I will say I've been enjoying First Ledger a lot. It's been fun to use. I have a little bit of money in there. Just throw it around. Typically I lose. Sometimes I win. More of just something to throw 10 XRP at some of these projects and see what happens. So it's also a great way to learn about the ledger. I will say that. It's a great education on the ledger. You learn a little bit about liquidity pools. You learn a little bit about the speed, trust lines. So if you're someone who's never really taken the time to like go try some of this stuff out, link in the description of this video, try it out. Just see what it's like, right? Like don't do more than like 100 XRP in like any project, right? But like 10, 15 bucks, right? Like the cost of breakfast. So highly encourage anyone to go check that out if they are interested in kind of just having some fun on the XRP ledger. And that's what I like to premise it as. But drop seems like it's making a good bottom. I know Bear went on a big crash too. So if we take a look at what's going on the Bear price chart, let's see what we can get here. And then Bear and drop are kind of just like those blue chip big memes on the XRP ledger. So Bear, as you can see, also went on a pretty massive drop. But if we take a look and spin this, we can see that we're probably in the process of creating a bottom here. So just something to consider. If you've been watching the market and you're like, I don't know, when's a good time to maybe try some of this stuff out, but if you've been interested, probably good to know that we are coming out, or look like we could be coming out of some kind of correction here. Link in the description of the video for First Ledger. I love gambling on memes. Yeah, as long as you go into it with that mentality, right? As long as you go into it with the mentality that you're gambling money, I mean, Bitcoin Andy says all the meme coins, blank coins destroying crypto, in my opinion. Chains just add meme coins to add their market value, no utility whatsoever. You can argue no utility whatsoever, but at the same time, at one point, Bitcoin was a meme coin. At one point, Dogecoin was a meme coin, right? So like, it's important to realize that a lot of these things were meme coins at one point. Mickle to nickel, Mr. I suggest for entertainment purposes, you play the Anthony Scaramucci clip. Okay, I will absolutely do that. Mr. I, there has been nothing I enjoy more than watching Anthony Scaramucci essentially have a meltdown over Trump getting elected. Guys, for those of you who don't know Anthony Scaramucci was Trump hired him and then fired him like instantaneously. So he was a Republican and then Trump fired him, and this dude has been so hurt about Trump. And it makes it even better because Anthony Scaramucci is like 4'1". Like, he's the smallest little man, and he's very smart. Like, you listen to him and he's very intelligent and he's well spoken, but like he has been absolutely nuked by this entire Trump thing. Like, him and Mark Cuban are like 1-1. Like Mark Cuban at least kind of came out afterwards and was like, all right, like I completely got this wrong. Good luck to Trump. Look, Mark Cuban, I don't know why he decided to make a fool of himself all over the national media in the way he did, but Anthony Scaramucci is going to be down bad. And Mr. I appreciate you playing this clip. All right, let's jump right into this. I'm going to enjoy this a lot. I was actually, over the last couple of days, I was searching out clips of Anthony Scaramucci just because I thought it was going to be so funny to see his reaction. Also, guys, before we hit play, about to do that, make sure to smash the like button. Really appreciate everyone doing that. And let's see what Mr. I sent us here. Should be good.
Coarseness to some of the rhetoric. There was some threatening suggestions to people related to being political adversaries and so on and so forth. And I hope we can put that rhetoric aside and we can move forward and think about what we're going to do as a country to unify the country and make the people in the country, particularly the lower and middle income people in the country, more prosperous.
The rhetoric got heated everywhere. You got pretty heated, Anthony, at times.
Look, Joe, how did I get heated? What did I say, Joe?
About Trump?
Yeah, what did I say? I said I repeated what he was saying. I said this is wrong.
Anthony,
come on, Joe.
You have had an utter disdain for Trump. You'll always be welcome at the table of legacy media and have people nodding as you trash Trump. That's always going to happen. But aren't you the slightest bit embarrassed or at least humbled about how wrong you were about the feeling of most Americans, let me finish, and for enthusiastically supporting a candidate who a majority of people thought had no business being anywhere near the Oval Office? And you're a Republican, and you saw that all the different policies that she was talking about are anathema to what you thought your whole life, and yet you went along with it. Do you ever eat any crow, or not even a little crow wing, really like a little capon? Or you just, I mean, Michael Avenatti could still be on TV trashing Trump. You'll always find a place on TV. If he wasn't in prison, he'd still be on CNN running for president with Brian Stelter. Just give me a little bit, Anthony, about how wrong you were.
Joe, first of all, I immediately put out a congratulatory tweet. They won, we lost. In the immortal words of Barry Diller when he lost a Paramount deal. Next, Joe, what would you like me to do? Do you want me to get on bended knee before you?
No, I thought you were going to start that it's going to...
That's not even what America is about, Joe. We have a violent disagreement about lots of things related to Trump's personality. You like Trump. I was up close to Trump. I got to see the ugliest of what he is. And by the way, Joe, it's not just me. There were 40 of us that worked for the president that warned people. So
I think he's been very good for your. I think he's been very good for your career, Anthony. I think he's been incredibly good. You're here, are you not? And you're going to be welcome anywhere you want to go. I think he's been very good for you, and you'll be able to live off this for another 4 years.
Joe, why don't you calm down? Why don't you calm down a second, Joe? We know each other a long time. Are you saying that you and I can't disagree on somebody's personality? Is that what you're saying? And you're saying what I'm saying in terms of identifying those features and traits of the personality. You don't see those too, but you're choosing to ignore them?
I guess 75 million people looked at everything you looked at and decided that there were other things that...
But there were 67 million people that didn't, Joe. That's what makes America, Joe. That's what makes America, Joe. But you're saying to me that stuff that I was saying wasn't factually true. If somebody's saying They're going to use the American military to go after their political adversaries. And I say, geez, that sounds very un-American to somebody like me.
Is that what he said, Vivek?
Oh,
Ha! That's good. I mean, Anthony, I think, does handle that. I mean, what was he supposed to say, right? Like, I mean, he was wrong. I think I think Anthony had a decent point. Like, what do you want to do? Beg on one knee? He got it wrong big time. He got it wrong big time, and he should be deserving this. But I mean, like, what's he supposed to say there? That's good, though. Thank you, Mr. I. Appreciate you sending that over. No, I am going to Boston. I am going to Boston for XRP Unleash. If you're in Boston, I'll see you there. If you're in Boston, I will see you there. I have another great video to show you guys. This fired me up. Oh, this also fired me up. This also fired me up. I don't know why. I thought this was like the funniest thing ever. I thought this was the funniest thing ever. Take a look at this. The caption was how it feels in Trump's America. I thought this was gold. Well, I hope I didn't just get shadow banned for playing that, but excellent video. I thought that was sick. I thought that was so funny. Quick shout out, guys, if you're ever looking for some if you're ever looking for like a community to be able to talk about crypto with, like-minded people, make sure to check out the mastermind group. Would love to see people over there. Just try to put people together in a place where they can talk about cryptocurrency, learn about it from one another, and really put themselves in an environment, right? Not a lot of people have an environment in their daily life where they can talk about cryptocurrency. So keep an eye out on that. There's a lot of cool, unique opportunities in there as well. But the other video I wanted to play, oh man, is that gone? I know where I can find it though. Take a look at this. You know, this is not a new video. I thought it was at first. Some people got this wrong. But this is, to me, why the Trump win was so important. Listen up to this. This is incredible. I listened to this a couple times, actually.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all. And corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption, and there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
Thought it was a great clip. Really did. Honestly, like, those are the kinds of things that I think are absolutely necessary to get ushered in, right? Like, you just need to clean up a lot of what's happening with the bureaucracy. And that's the biggest thing we face in the Ripple SEC case, is straight up bureaucracy. And, you know, he seems like the only person who's willing to take that seriously to a certain degree. And that's why that's one of those things that I just love to see. Not a lot of people have really taken that seriously. Not a lot of people have really done anything to fix it. So, it looks like XRP might be on a small little pump right here. Take a look at Fiat Leak and take a look. 55.36. Could be a good day. Really could be. No, that was a good video. In my opinion, those are some of the biggest problems with America right now. So if we can get that fixed up, I think it will create a great opportunity. Oh, Flare's pumping too. Take a look at Flare real quick. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen. I want to watch this XRP pump, and it looks like Flare's making a move. Yep, Flare's got a nice little spike. I think liquidity is starting to come back in. People are starting to realize, hey, things might be about to change in a pretty big way. Gensler seen at McDonald's. Gensler, I think Gensler's going to step down pretty soon. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that prediction pans out, but I don't anticipate him hanging out too much longer. We'll see. Checking the news real quick. Gensler's curled up and dumping to 72K soon, in my opinion. What are we at? Okay, interesting. Interesting take. Let me take a look at where we're at right now on Bitcoin. It looks like we're around the corner from a breakout. Just going to say that right now. I think we're going to hit 80. I think we're going to hit 80 this weekend. That's my prediction for Bitcoin. I think we're going to hit 80 this weekend. And I think we could get close to 60 cents on XRP. Thank you so much for clicking the like button. I really appreciate that. I don't know, guys. I'm getting the sense that today could be a very good day. It looks like everything's just kind of on the cusp of like reaccelerating. Because we talked about this before. Remember when I said when the Ripple SEC case got the determination that XRP wasn't a security, and I said like instantaneously we weren't going to see people flooding in, but what we were going to see was a lot of people ultimately making the choice to start adding XRP products once they got to talk to their legal counsel. I think we're going to see the same thing with cryptocurrency adoption here. I think a lot of teams on the back end are getting together and saying, wait a minute, Trump's going to be very pro cryptocurrency. We need to get ahead of that. And I think that in these next couple of weeks, we're going to see the market really starting to reflect that. I think the market is still honestly in a bit of shock that Trump actually won. I love this line from Brad Garlinghouse on his post the other day. Brad Garlinghouse said, 6 years since the SEC started meddling in the crypto market, picking winners and losers. 4 years since the SEC sued Ripple. And now finally we see a light at the end of the tunnel as these external, frankly unnatural and manipulative market factors fade. The tides are shifting, headwinds are turning into tailwinds, and the opportunity for those of us who believe in the future of XRP is enormous. Love that from Brad Garlinghouse. The future of those of us who believe in XRP is enormous. Gensler will be gone by January 1st or a few weeks before. I wouldn't be surprised if Gary Gensler was gone by Christmas. I hope that's our Christmas present. That would be a great Christmas present, man. How much damage can Gary Gensler do in the meantime before he leaves? Not a lot at all, to be honest, because anything he does can now just be reversed. Like by the time he can issue a bunch of cases if he wants, but everything will be reversed. Everything will be reversed. He's complete at this point. He's almost completely powerless. There's no damage he can do in the amount of time until Trump takes over for there to be any real damage. I don't believe. He'll be forced out. He'll absolutely be forced out. Guys, make sure to take a quick second, drop a like on the stream. Let's try to get 1,000 people in here before we end. Really appreciate everyone who does that. It's super, super helpful. Still disappointed we couldn't see a John Deaton win, man. Mark Flynn says, just so everyone is aware, there's a new XRP meme coin Reddit page for us. Not related to me, just saying. Also, guys, if you're looking for a link to First Ledger, link is in the description of this video. Check out First Ledger if you're interested in getting involved. Mickle, please make a Mafia shirt. I have one down in the description. Check it out. I do have a Mickle Mafia shirt. Absolutely. You don't think Gary Gensler will want to settle before leaving? No, I don't think so. I don't think Gary Gensler will settle before leaving, Chris. But here's the thing, and maybe this is a little bit of Ripple's fault. Ripple definitely made it personal on Gary Gensler. Ripple definitely made it personal on Gary Gensler. I don't think Gary Gensler is going to do anything to throw Ripple a bone. And anyway, right? Oh, Chadwick, that's awesome. That's awesome, Chadwick. That's what I always tell people, right? Look, guys, I don't think it's a good idea, and don't take this the wrong way to anyone who likes doing it. I don't think it's a good idea to be throwing large amounts of money into any kind of meme coin or any kind of risky platform, right? Ultimately, where XRP is going to go over the long run, I think you're going to be very happy just making sure you retain XRP. With that said, throwing around 100, 200 XRP here and there, you learn a lot about the XRP ledger, and I think it makes you very bullish on the technology. So I think there's a perfect balance between having like a little side pot of money you can play around with and focusing on what your long-term thesis is for the asset. The lawsuit won't automatically be dropped. The lawsuit will be settled. The lawsuit will be settled. It's possible the appeal is dropped. It's very possible the appeal is dropped, but the appeal will most likely be settled because Ripple's going to want some clarity. One second. All right, guys, it looks like I got to jump. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Happy Friday. Look out for a video later. I have a good one coming, breaking down some what I believe is going to be some very exciting news for what this new administration is going to look like. Guys,